Sarge, and the guy went through such a long season, Dario Sarge, and then for him to have the injury.
Is Cole around?
It's out. They tweeted it out, Ronnie. I wouldn't put you on.
Yeah, what did they tweet?
They tweeted he has a torn ACL and he's out indefinitely.
The team tweeted that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They released it already. I should say that beforehand from here on out because I know that kind of makes you wheezy a little bit.
I mean, it's just one of those situations that literally breaks your heart. Dario's a guy that I've been with twice. I coached him in Philly, and to get a chance to be with him here, he's what Suns basketball is about. Hard worker, unbelievable guy, and he was so looking forward to playing in these finals, and to play a few minutes and have that kind of injury is it was a tough thing to hear this morning when I talked to the staff and they told me what was going on, and I spoke with him, and obviously he was shocked and just felt pretty bad. So I just told the team today to check on he and Carla, and he's got a road ahead of him, but he's a diligent worker, and we know he'll be back and better. But it was a shock to see him go down like that.
Mark, next row on your right.
Hey, Monti. How do you think you've grown as a coach over the years, and what do you think have been those pivot points that shaped your growth?
I don't know. I mean, I heard a lot of things about my first time in New Orleans, and I heard it from players, I heard it from staff, and for me it was trying to figure out what were the things that I needed to change so that I can be not just a decent coach, but also somebody that people wanted to work with outside of basketball. And for me, I guess when I first took the job in New Orleans, it was I was so focused on winning and coaching. There were times where players probably felt like I was really tough on them, hard on them. I guess now I try to be a bit more considerate of how I get my message across. That's probably something that I've grown, hopefully, is I try to be more intentional and considerate with my messaging. And I try to be effective over being right, I guess. But that'd be something that you probably have to ask guys like Chris, who I was with in New Orleans, and I'm here with him now, but I was more of a doofus then than I am now, but probably still a doofus. I'm okay with that.
We'll go Dave, then Gina, and then to Zoom.
Monti, Dario wasn't getting a ton of playing time, but it's 12 minutes or so that you can dole out. What are your options? I know Frank played some yesterday.
Yeah.
How do you think you move forward with those minutes?
We have different options. Frank gives us quality, size, and playmaking ability. He's smart. We went small last night with Torrey. We also have Dooley, who can play some small ball 4-5. So we're just going to try to make those decisions on the fly, but those three guys come to mind. And then, you just have to figure it out with your coverages. That's the biggest thing, is trying to figure out the coverages for those guys, because when you go small ball with a guy like Torrey or Dooley, it's trying to teach those guys a coverage when they're guarding, a 5 that dives. That's not something that those guys are used to. So, and then the offensive package can change a bit. Those guys are so used to playing 3-4. Now you got to put them in an environment where they're playing the 5. speaking of Torrey and Dooley.
Hey, Monty, we obviously know that Chris and Jay are very vocal leaders and have been throughout their career. Yes. And with the younger guys, what do you feel like the key was for them absorbing those messages constructively throughout the season? And also, it seems like that has empowered them to start using their voices too. And just maybe how have you seen that evolve over the course of the season?
I think it started last year and in the bubble. You know, we had guys like Ricky was a veteran guy who could be vocal at times, but he poured into our young guys. And it was a bit of a setup for our guys like Mikhail and Cam, all of our young guys, DA, to have Chris, Jay, Etwan step into the gym and receive those kinds of messages. So I thought last year prepared them, and they're willing learners, you know, and now most people talk when they don't know what to say. I think it takes young guys a bit to know what to say when you're learning a new system. Once you have continuity, you know what to say, so that may help. And then Chris and Jay and those guys allow for those guys to talk. It's not like they're always talking. They allow for the young guys to express themselves.
Palmer, over to you for Zoom.
We'll go to Richard Science with Fox 10, followed by Mark McClone.
Hey, Coach, you know, I know the goal wasn't to win one game in the NBA Finals, but, you know, how nice is it to get that first one out of the way, you know, because you before you win four, you got to win one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the deal. I mean, you want to win every game. That's been our, you know, everybody's motivation. But to win the first game at home was great for us, but we also have the mentality that we're not satisfied. We've been in this situation before. We talked about it this morning. We've already started to prepare ourselves for the best Milwaukee effort that we're going to see in the series. We're ready for that, and I'm grateful for the experiences we've had leading up to this, because I think it's prepared us for the game one and in particular game two, as far as our mindset and preparation.
Next is Mark McClone with Arizona's Family.
Hey, Monty, just to kind of further that, what does this team, you feel like, learned in playing after wins in the playoffs, even going back to last series with the Clippers? And how do you kind of preach the message that you'd preached last series and earlier in the playoffs of you know, ratcheting up that desperation even after a win?
Man, I don't want to speak for the players. I try not to do that, but I think because of those experiences, because of, you know, the game 5 against the Clippers, when we felt like we didn't play with the juice and desperation that we typically play with, I think our guys understand that that's who we are, and we have to be that no matter what the situation is, whether you win a game or lose a game. That's been our DNA. But you be best served to ask the players. But that's what we try to preach and motivate our guys in that direction. But that's who they are. And so when we don't have that kind of effort or juice, they already know it. We just remind them. But for the most part, they know it.
Thank you, Coach. Chris will be right up.
Thank you.